It should be live now.
You see that?
Yeah.
Oh shit, it's dry.
Yeah, we've been busting ass this morning thanks to Ted.
I was not expecting that to see you guys put in water slides, have the kids go down.
That dark brown right there, that's a mudslide. We're working on that for you right now. Okay, let's start with the basic stuff, just so we know where we're at, and then Ted come in, since he's here, tell me what our game plan is and what's going on from here. So I don't know if y'all looked in Procore yet and seen the pictures of where we were at, where we came from, or watched the videos I did last week for you, but this area is where we originally started the first sump. And it washed out to the point where we can't see the pipe anymore that we put in the ground. So it's buried underneath all this silt. So we're going to have to put in a new sump. The second one that we put to the left of the pipe, we're working on right now. And we've got the 6-inch pump down there and the 4-inch pump down there. We found that pipe, exposed it. We've got a game plan. We're going to start dropping some 2 inches in there and start kind of keeping that one going. As far as the site's concerned, Ted's going to push this water on the other side of the water truck to this pond, and you can see we've already made a cut. And we'll push that water with the dozer down. And then you can tell how much pumping and shit we've done because all of our silt fences are completely jammed up.
But still working.
Still working technically, but we're about to find out. The city's on their way right now for our storm inspection.
Oh.
This is all temporary, so this is going to go away hopefully in the next week or so. We'll rip all the rest of this shit out with civil starting once I know we're connected to that fucking pipe. But we're still spilling over. And that's just with us pumping. The ponds are back down. We pumped this weekend. So that alleviated that, so we had a place to put the water. And then the dam is back exposed between the new pond and the old pond, which we'll work on here later. The pad will start drying up. We're going to stay off of it. The wall guys will be back here tomorrow. I thought they were coming today. Apparently we have communication issues here in Colorado. No habla inglés, even though they speak perfectly good English. They dropped a little mini X so they can start back on this wall that collapsed with the washout on Wednesday's rain. I don't know. We got 8.5 inches last week. So for the next 14 days, it looks pretty good. This weekend is a little iffy at like 20%, but it's nothing I'm shaking a stick at. We're going to go like crazy. So we're going to start rebuilding this starting tomorrow. You can obviously see the collapse. That all has to get dug all the way back down to dry ground, packed back in, past compaction, and then built back up. That was Tuesday's rain, right?
Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah.
So they did this on Tuesday, and then it collapsed Tuesday night with the washout. Some of it is still good. All of this, believe it or not, is fine. But everything east of here is kind of hosed. So this is a rebuild. Everywhere we had mud in that rock they have to rebuild. So they have to rebuild this little section coming on screen now. That has to get rebuilt because it has mud on it. This does not have to get rebuilt. Woo! Too fast. Slow it down. That section's going to have to get rebuilt. And all the way down here at the end, we look good again. And then this is in the wall here. All that's got to come out. We're running really low with latency right now for some reason. So we put in these dewatering channels last week. Thank God they worked Thursday and Friday. Well, the dewatering channels worked Thursday, Friday. Ted's group didn't work Friday. And that's kind of why we're looking better today and this weekend than we were last weekend. Okay, so let's go back to the problem, and Ted, I think you're up, boss.
So you can see where my excavator and dozer are working at, just to the north of the water truck. We've got the best opportunity to get place and fill the quickest on that side. We do have the dewatering well still in, so we'll utilize it. We're taking the stuff off the top and pushing it and throwing it out. After lunch, we can scrape, get it a little farther away so we can get down to some fill on, lay it out in the parking lot so we're driving. I'd like to see if we can start placing fill about to the south. After lunch, I'm going to take the excavator onto the north side where we lost the well and see if we can find the pipe or at least get another well point ready, and we'll pull that well out of that south side and throw it over there once we start filling and get everything up to grade where we got some positive drainage while we're working towards the slab subgrade. Not knowing what utilities are going to have happening, we're contemplating trying to run a reroute of that storm drain. If we can get the two sides of the pad up to subgrade of slab, I'd like to see if I can take an excavator and a scraper and dig a channel coming south from where that drain is at, maybe remove 3 or 4 more sections and get it to go south and run it through the parking lot up to where you can see in the left side there we've got a channel cut, and circumvent all that pipe that we've removed already and start working on remedying the subgrade through there. It's pretty soft. We know it's saturated. It's where it's been running surface water for the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it is when we took that stuff out. And see if we can't get some more of the pad ready, because if we can get that up, you can see the pad wet grade. If we stay off of it, we'll drain, we'll stay healed. We just can't be driving on it while it's wet. And then that just leaves us to the last 300 feet of pipe that's about 10 foot deep in the ground that needs to be removed. The structure needs to be removed, but we've got to have that other one in line to do that because I just don't see us getting water around that section.
So that entire picture I was paused on for a minute is your pad. This guy runs through it.
Yeah, I'd like to take that pipe where my excavator is about there and run it to screen right and see if I can't get it out and around the pad into the parking lot and around the east half of the building.
Trying to show y'all some elevation. It blew all that riprap out. But we're trying to take it around the dozer and then up over here into the parking area. So we can reroute it, dry this area out, and then start building the pad the second we get the permit. Well, I mean, we're gonna build the pad regardless of the permit, but I can get guys in the pad the second we can with the permit.
We would have been finishing up our earthworks total scope on the heavy dirt at the end of this week without the delay of utilities and this water issue.
How much of this problem, Ted, is rainwater from last week versus stormwater not being installed?
That's all. I say 90% of it's from having to reroute the stormwater. I mean, if we had the stormwater rerouted, you would have had a pad draining off the edge and into the pond, and you can see where the pad is at. It
Right.
drains off to the edges. The problem is we're down below over-X. That well point was 17 foot below finished floor, and that's what was sucking everything dry when we were able to start filling.
Yeah, the pad, when we were around on it earlier, it's already got orange peel on the top of it.
What is that?
Like dry desert.
Yeah, it's adobe. It leaches out, and it'll go out to the side there or shut off. We have compaction on it. It's tight. Just don't drive in it because it's just like anything else. You drive it, the water can come in the surface.
But it looks like the pad has a sunburn and it's peeling off.
Salt flats.
Yeah. So it's already dry, and that's after Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 3 days. And it's already like that. And then the faster we get these well points in, this surface water will seep down, get into those well points, and then we'll discharge it out and route it around, which is why this is critical that we put these well points back in to keep this area dry as possible. We got the 2-inch down there right now, right?
Yeah, it should be here. He's trying to get to that sump.
Okay.
You can see there to the left of that well point where the water's coming out of the slab grade and washing and caving in the sides of the slab right there.
So Jeremy, realistically, how fast do you think we can, before
I think they're going to need weeks if I'm pushing them, but you know me. But they're supposed to mow in today and they're not here. So I've got to call into them. We're doing our dewatering thing and making sure that they have a place to start dropping pipe, which they do. Everything up here is dry and ready. So they have, it's a little bit of delay on the live. But there you go. So that whole area between those two trucks is a good laydown yard for all that pipe. The second it gets here, one of those guys is the surveyor, and he's already putting in all the stakes they need for this storm line coming down here. Once we get this water managed, Ted can get down here, move his water truck up. The city gave us the okay to use the fucking fire hydrant. Bastards. We're going to start down here at the outfall. We'll stay away from the wall guys. They'll be back tomorrow. And then we're going to start cruising that stormwater line actually goes in line with this slip off. I don't know if you can see the stakes right here, but this is kind of the line. So we're digging that anyways. That's why we're not fixing it. But we also put the bleeders in to let the pad drain off. So that storm line kicks like a chicken right through here. And then it comes around and it zigzags right at the end of this wall and comes to the back side. of this guy. So you've got all this shit to dig. He's 10, 12 foot down. We got to drag trench boxes, the whole nine. And then right here where he's walking, turns, comes right through here where this little blade path is to its tie-in point, roughly right here,
I think it's about where the dozer's at.
because that's the end of our line. Right there.
Latency issues.
Once we get this tied in, I'll have a manhole here. So the object is where the excavator is, and he puts in that new sump. We're going to grab the hose and run it up here to the manhole, which is directly underneath the drum right now. We'll de-water that down all the way to the pond, and there'll be no harm, no foul. We have 2.5-inch automatic pumps that we bought. We have two 2-inch pumps that we're renting. We have a 4-inch pump that we're renting and a 6-inch pump that we're renting. The 4 and 6 are about to go down to the pond as soon as we're done with them down here. The 6-inch and the 4-inch right now, we do the same thing where that excavator's working right now to lower this as fast as we did. Now we lowered this one. If you look at the pictures from this morning, that was complete. All that shit was underwater. So we're going to take both these guys, put them back in the big pond, and we're going to drain the shit out of that one and get that thing dried up and take advantage of this sunlight while we have it. That 6-inch pump cannot be moved around by anything we have on site with the exception of that excavator. We have to pick it up with a chain and carry it where we want it. Same thing with those hoses. The 4-inch is doable by hand, but it's not fun, but we're doing it and making it work. 2 inches we throw in the back of the buggy and it screws around and water.
So what does this look like the next 2 weeks? Are we just on the next 2 weeks assuming we don't get rain, or if we get obviously the rain seems worse, but
Well, the problem with it last week was every time we would pump, it would rain more than we pumped for the day. And then we'd start again the next day and start again the next day. The forecast one day had 20%, and we got 2 inches that day. We got an inch that shut us down, and then later that night we got another 1.5 inches, and then overnight we got another 0.5 inch. So, $1 million question of the day. The only chance of precipitation is Saturday, Sunday right now. As dry as it is, we've made a hell of a lot of progress in the morning. If we can keep this up, we can stay on top of it. Even if it does come, we've got a plan to reroute it and get around this pad so we can work the pad, and we'll sacrifice the parking lot if we need to. For a little bit anyways, we're trying to mitigate the over-Xing, right? So all this straight through the center, we're going to have to get down to some point. We still have to rip out that back, 300 to 400 feet, plus the concrete drop structure that underneath. Once we rip all that fun shit out, that still has to be over-Xed and built up. We haven't touched that yet. And that's okay. Like, that was kind of the game plan. But I've killed my battery, so we're going to have to kill the live.